Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Shout out to my daughter and my wife. They got me this top for my birthday. God bless them both. Let's break it down. Let's talk about the charts. Let's get the music up and running. God bless each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Bitcoin, 81,000. Playing some games here back and forth. Let's take a look at what's happening here on this low volume Thursday for BTC. Shout out to everybody here. First off the bat, sign up to Bitcoin Las Vegas. I'm telling you, the prices go up every Friday. It will be awesome. Hit the link there or the QR code right there. All right. The QR code's right there. Bitcoin Las Vegas. I'll see you there. All right. Or if you want to take class 2, get the education. If you're losing a lot, you need an education. You need to change what you've been doing. Hit the QR code for class. It is April 26th of this month. I can't wait to see you into class. Let's break down. Let's finish it off. Let's break it down for Bitcoin. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. So I saw this shoulder, head, right shoulder for Bitcoin, gave an awareness to the trading group, said that's likely going to give us a move, which is the measured move. And it basically gave us the exact measured move from that neckline. Now it's basically, to me, bearishly retesting the bottom of the channel, or are we ripping back to the upside? We got a lot to discuss. Bitcoin is kind of up and down today. We hit a huge short on Sunday. We hit a huge long yesterday. So there's been some massive gains here, but some chop in the middle. Let's take a look at the weekly, get rid of the spaghetti, clear our minds, and see what's happening. Let me just take a gander on the 1 minute, see if I'm missing any action right now. And a possible inverted head and shoulder here that could break back to the upside, but some choppiness nonetheless. They stopped out the long, stopped out the short. Anyone around this area, they're chopping you out. So let's take a look here at the weekly time frame for BTC. First thing I want to see is I want to look at how far the moving averages are apart. And I mean, they are pretty far apart. Anytime I've seen that on the weekly for any asset in the world, it has been the beginning of a bear market. I don't want to tell you it's the bear market because maybe Bitcoin's different, you know, and everyone says this is the one and all this, you know, and we are in a falling wedge, and it's taken a lot of selling to get us here. And you could even pull a huge fib here from wick to wick, and you can still say, okay, we got some space to come down to 69,000. Like, we still got to fulfill the end of this falling wedge here, and then we can break out, which would say there's some more downside coming, some more pain for Bitcoin. Like, it's not over yet. I'm open-minded. That is wick to wick, right? I like to take this area here, and you can see we're in the golden pocket because that was an initial huge move, right, from an actual sideways, you know. Still, at the end of the day, I do take the bigger range. You could say, okay, there's some more downside coming for Bitcoin. I'm still watching this idea that we have hidden bullish divergence for BTC. It's still here. It's still intact. Oversold stochastic, getting that white line on the MACD. Again, yesterday's buy at 77,000 could have been the low. There's still a chance that that buy, I mean, it's still in the money, right? If you watched yesterday's stream, I bought Bitcoin on BitTinex too. We nailed it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Bang. We also had a trade open on weeks that also hit for gains. That had been open the day before, you know, the hours before that, and we just had nailed it. So shout out to all my lovers of life. Shout out to everybody out here living high frequency, vibrational energy lifestyles. If that's you, hit the like button. God bless you. If you're only hanging out with people that push themselves to be better, if you're only hanging out with people that are working out, living their best life, dreaming to be amazing, starting businesses, or they're working for someone but they love what they do, a school teacher, a fireman, a police officer, someone that's giving back to society, you're a winner. God bless all the beautiful people that are winning today and just living with good energy. If you're living with good energy, you are winning. If you feel like if no matter what happens today, you've got it, then you do. If you believe you're the opportunity today, then you are, right? You might save somebody's life as a paramedic. You're on. That's being the opportunity. It's not always about entrepreneuring and being the guy with the suit. That happened to be my life. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be everybody's. We all choose a different path. I'm here to connect with all walks of life. Everybody out there that's listening. A lot of people listen on a podcast style. are hearing me at work, hearing me while they're working out. And I just want to let you know I love you. And you can keep pushing yourself every single day. Don't take days off. I don't 7 days a week for my dreams, 7 days a week for what I love. Let's get back into Bitcoin. But I just want to let you know I love you. I care about you. And I want to see the best out of everyone here on the stream. And the type of people I want to be around are those type of people. So still hidden bullish divergence. Still some nice Fibonacci retracement going on here. There's some bullishness in the air. Nice wickage. But again, as we spoke about this morning, I don't want to see tweezer tops anymore on the 3-day chart. I'm done. Otherwise, we're coming back down to the bottom of the channel. And this is going to dump us somewhere back down here to 73,200 again. It just is what it is. It's just the facts of life. You know, could be a shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder, a high, a low, a lower high. So I'm still not, buying this. I get it. We have a little wick there. It's okay. But no, I mean, that's a tweezer top of the 3-day. That is bearish. 2 days in 10 hours, The daily already doing the same thing, creating a tweezer top. Bearish. Resistance at 82.6. Not my story, Morning Glory. Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this to close bullish above this yellow line. Come on. The only kind of saving grace I'll give it is this could be a shoulder, this could be a head, and fine. Maybe you make some type of right shoulder here and we dip along. But please don't lose 79,000, because if you lose 79K, I mean, your next stop is likely going to be somewhere here at 73,002, back to the bottom of the channel. Just how it works. I've seen this game so many times. Once you lose a key level, you usually drop to the channel. So bearish right now on the daily. That's it. If we close a bearish top, 2 candles next to each other, one red right after, bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. I don't know what I got to tell you. Bearish. Let's do a couple more in case you just aren't convinced yet. Well, like every nasty bearish move here. When the daily decided it was going to close a red candle next to a green candle. It's pretty simple stuff here. It's almost like people my whole time I could have just shorted that. Yes, shorted that. Yes, shorted that. Yep. This closes here. I mean, it's telling you there could be a likely short right back down here to 74,000. And again, I'm not reading anyone else's TA. I haven't watched anyone else's technical analysis in a long time. I have no clue what anyone's saying. I have no clue what's going on. I'm isolated in my own thoughts here on the charts. But did I not give you this beautiful head and shoulder pattern? The daily descending. Did we not call basically the bottom and catch this ride right back to the upside? We did. We caught both of these moves beautifully if you were in my trading group or watching me live. I don't know how I did it. I still look back and don't know. But I say God was with me every day. I showed up every single day, and you people supported me every single day. I had a good wife, good vibes. I got good sleep. I took care of myself. I worked out. I listened to positive affirmations. And look where we ended up. In an amazing spot. So every day we believed we were the opportunity. We took this for opportunity. While everyone else was crying, freaking out, there was money to be made here. We just had to position ourselves correctly and focus and stay disciplined too. And stay disciplined. 81,300 Bitcoin getting a little bit of a punch back to the upside. We're going to zoom in a second here from the 4-hour time frame. So what I'm watching is a flag-like sequence of events here on the 4-hour time frame. It's got, a cup and handle vibe. You got this beautiful cup just with a higher right side. And can the 21 curve up to price action and still give us what we call that bacon on the beach? So, bang, look at this. And Bitcoin shooting to get back above the 200 MA on that 1-hour time frame, still showing signs of life here for BTC. 81,400 climbing back up after the dip to 80,008. And look, this was the key level here we could not lose. Previous resistance is support. That's an SR flip right there for BTC. So cup and handle vibes for Bitcoin. Oversold stochastic, falling wedge, Can we get the move? 4 hour looking interesting. 15-minute with the bounce on the stochastics RSI. Looking like we could get the move to the upside here for Bitcoin. The 5-minute time frame also looks like it may be getting some type of reversal here with the MACD about to get a nice little cross. Get that A out of here. But the MACD, you can see, about to get a nice cross here. Again, it is the MACD. I've seen that just flip down. It's, you know, you never want to trade on the MACD alone. But we're building up some other ideas. Is the 1 minute getting above the 200 MA? That's what we're looking for. And again, when you're this tight, though, you kind of expect a lot of this. You know, so you can't trade see, once you get to the, see how everything changes? You could trade my system on Tuesday and Wednesday, get above the 200 MA, boom, 200 MA, boom, right? Lose it, short, right? But once we get into that low volume Thursday, you got to back off from the high volume scalp, high volume, low time frame scalp capability. And you got to change, you know, to, I use just because you zoom out. When there's less volume, I zoom out. You see what I'm saying? When there's less volume, we zoom out. That's the key. When there's more volume, we bang in. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say you should be taking a financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. More volume, bigger trades, harder movement, bang, bang, right? Lower volume, pulling back the trades, less movement. There's no reason to force the trade if it's not there. There's no reason to overuse your capital if you know what I mean? If you've been trading for 10 years and you saw where the best places to trade are, why would you overtrade on the worst places to trade? See, in 2 to 3 years, you don't know that. Even in 5 years, you really don't know a lot about the, you know, some people pick up on it. You have a good mentor and you learn and you listen. In our trading group, you'll find it out in about a year or two. You'll understand why the best days of the week are to trade and you know, what the whole point of that is. So back to Bitcoin. Prediction for the day looks like Bitcoin may still make this bigger move here to 89K and get a nice pump out this flag to the upside. Basically, it would be a support or resistance flip on the 1 hour time frame. I really wouldn't trade any other time frame. I would stay off of the smaller time frames today. Sam never says that. What is he saying that for? What is going on? Why is he staying away from the smaller time frames? No, let's see. Hi, Sam. I like to bring you XCN as I think it's going to be the best crypto to this bull run, 60% up today. I love XCN. I hold it. I recently added it to my portfolio in the last couple weeks during these dips. And so it's the only real coin that I've added in the last 4 or 5 months, really, to my portfolio. Besides a little more Ondo, some SWI, BTC, you know, I've been keeping it pretty structured. So Bitcoin, looking interesting on the 1 hour time frame for a Sammy Cup and Handy possible SR flip to the upside. You know, I just treachery today. I wouldn't be surprised if they went for the stop hunt before they pumped it out to the upside. So you just got to be careful on low volume, low liquidity days like today, where it's easy pickings to take you out of the trade. But the 1 hour does look tasty here. Just got back home from offshore oil rig. Right back at it with you. 642 of the short with you yesterday, brother. Thanks again. Much love. Shout out to Matt Vieno. We love you with the $10 Canadian. God bless you. I'm so happy that you're home safe. Hope God has, provides even more. You sound grateful for all your opportunities. Thank you so much for the love, man. Appreciate you. And then we have Ali G saying, Sam, I'd like to bring you XCN as I think it's going to be a best crypto this bull run, 60% up today. Amazing. And I do like XCN. And it seems to be connected every time to, XLM and XRP a bit too. And that ISO 220, SHX hit a daily cup and handle for the 200% and beyond. Let's take a look at SHX and a lot of coins. If we do get this bounce, I mean, it'll happen faster than people realize. I've been through this game before. It's the pain. And the next thing you know, we'll rip it. And everyone's like, how? Like, what? Like, and it's the people that have been caught off guard so much. See, here's the deal. I came up with a good example here. I'm going to come up with some weird metaphor in a second of what it's like to survive a market. Why the people that are more veteran survive. What did they learn? What is it? What changes you as a trader? What makes you able to survive after years before the people that turn away? What's the difference? What's the turning point? How did I get where I'm at? How can you get to that place? Everyone here is either a trader that loves trading and wants the vibes, has a good life, and some people say, hey, they like to trade a little bit, but they really just like the positive energy here, the music and the way it's presented, and they want to be a part of that. I love that. You're a crypto lifer too. You're still a lifer, just a lifer in general. But then there's people here that want to make that change. They want to go from working a 9 to 5 to trading, and they want to know, Sam, how did you do it? How can I do it? I come here every day to learn and spend my time. And I'm going to teach you a couple tricks, and I'm going to talk about a metaphor today that I hope can kind of guide you. And it's always not what you want to hear, but it will make sense if you keep pushing. All right? Amen. Let's take a look here. Jennifer Morrison says, Sam, I've been following you since 2021. You have taught me so much. I just started a new job with a company that has its own Bitcoin crowd. I need to share this amazing resource with you. Thank you. God bless you, Jennifer Morrison. And shout out to your crowd and everyone out there. I hope they become crypto lifers and find out more about trading and generating wealth through education. Right? That's the key. That's really what it's all about. Getting an education that generates more wealth. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Every single time. So my man likes SHX. I mean, you got some previous support as resistance. If Bitcoin crumbles, though, you will come back down to revisit the lows, which could happen, but you're very oversold with a bullish divvy. It does suggest that, you may continue to the upside. It's high risk for me. I don't know if I'd be getting into it. Let me take a look at the 3-day. 3-day is my go-to, and it says you're very oversold, but we've been getting this behavior only to be getting rejected. I do like the previous support as resistance here. Resistance support. You know, you're getting an SR flip. You've had some chunkage of price action. This is an area where people would take into consideration. There's a chunk of the VRVP. Let's talk about that. What am I using here that's blue and yellow? It's the VRVP. Type in VRVP, visible range volume profile. Click on it. It'll get added to your chart. However, yours won't look like mine. Yours will look like this. It'll be chunkier. It won't look as cool and easy to see. It'll be kind of like, okay, you'll get it though. You can still see it. Here's your high volume node. There it is too. I like it, with far more lines in it. So I just add a 0 there, and, we 10x the amount of lines in there, and it just gives us a little more detail, fine tune it. Again, how did I just do that? I went to the settings bar. I went to inputs, and I just put a 0 next to the 24. Again, how did I add that? I went up here on tradingview.com, indicators and metrics, and typed in VRVP. This will give you a beautiful range of what's happening with volume. On the right, look at 77.33. I've been seeing this everywhere lately. Yesterday I saw, it was like my birthday, they're like 77.33. It's just crazy. You tell me to go to SHX, and it's on 77.33. And I always tell everyone how we see the 77 and the 33 on the live stream all the time. And then it's stuck there. It's just sitting there at 77.33. You don't find this strange? It's just a coincidence, right? It's just a coincidence. Then it changes. The number changes, right? Just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence, right? Like these insane, weird, numbers follow me around. I think it's strange. And it happens all the time on the stream. I don't force it. And I just look there. I was like, oh my gosh, look, it's them again. Ladies and gentlemen, 77 and 33. No, but seriously, they seem to appear on the stream all the time. Anyway, let's get back to brass tacks here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin getting a nice little pump here back to the upside. And you're telling me there's a chance here. It does look like we may be able to cook here to the upside of the 1 hour time frame. It's one of our last, I think it's our last day to make a week's trade. This could be it here. We just pumped up right to that 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame. My sauce always tells me to wait there and be careful because we could get rejection. But if we fly through that, we'll pull the 21 and continue to pump to the upside. The 1 hour time frame's got that gold. You're attempting to get back above. How amazing. I mean, it could do the same thing and roll over in 2 seconds, though. You know, somewhat promising is that aggressive curve of the stochastics, very oversold behavior and above the 200 MA. I mean, it does tell me that there could be that move to the upside here for BTC, but there's no low volume Thursday always tells me to be very, very careful. We also have the SR flip though here, mind you, so you're playing a support and resistance idea as well. So you got two ideas at the same time. This would take us to 89,107. And BOOKMAP, I mean, BOOKMAP really got liquidity a little more further down than up. We got a bunch of long liquidations at 80,004. We got some short liquidations up to 82.7 though. But would I really get to my other target? I don't know. I deleted it. I'm gonna have to just flip a cookie here or something. No, like, you know, flip a cookie. I don't mean that. The trade. I mean, my Brave browser isn't remembering what I draw on this for some reason. I might have done something in here in the chart settings. I'll mess with it on my own time. 89,941. The old me, I don't know if you remember, I used to sit there and get obsessed over little things that didn't matter on the stream. Like, I had like obsessive problems, but now I can move on. I just, you know, I don't know how I got over that stuff, but I just decided, hey, I got to move on. 80,248. Used to get stuck on trolls and ticks and stuff, all sorts of weird stuff on the stream. Our last stream, do we lose 4? Do we make 2,600 bucks? I want to go all the way here, 8 for 4, and call it a day. We get the massive pump to the upside. More good tariff news. Sammy Cup at handy. Above the 200 MA there on the 1 minute time frame too as well. My golden baby. And I never trade that hard, you know. It's at the end of the competition though. We'll go halvesies. High risk on a Thursday though, you know what I mean? This company, that's why I liked it, but there was a lot of times where I sat on my hands because the trading wasn't amazing. Then we had just big movements, a couple big, 3 or 4 big trades, and then there was a lot of chop, a lot of uncertainty in the markets too. One of the most uncertain times ever. It was good volatility. It was definitely opportunity. But we had to be cautious for sure. We'll come back to this. I want to bite right now, but I'm just... Thursday trading always tells me to be careful. It's like I'll just hand 400 bucks away for no reason just because it's Thursday. You know what I mean? I know there's low vol. I know the odds aren't with me, but I like the technical analysis. I like the support of resistance, you know. 89941, 80,248. We also have PPI tomorrow, which I know, you know, can make price action. Like we might do something weird, like, you know, and just go like oddly sideways all day, dip or play, you know what I mean? It could be one of those days too, and just a painstakingly long day. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm up pretty nicely on the week. If I lose 400, I'll be fine. It won't be the worst thing in the world, right? I could take a hit. I'll go for the long. but there's a good chance I take a beat down, and I know it. So and it's very high risk, like hanging at the 200 MA here. Very high risk. So let's take a look in the 1 minute too. It could easily just be losing. We're getting close to my model though with the 21 crossing, but that could lose and just turn under the right shoulder, and we could just take a nasty dump to the downside. Let's take a look at the bearish scenario. So I'm not drinking my own Kool-Aid here. How could this be bearish? Well, it could be kind of like a shoulder, head, right shoulder that you can't really see in a way. I don't know. It doesn't look that looks, with the 21 curving too, I've seen create dumps across the 200, you know, and then we all kind of fall down. The other time frames don't look amazing as well. Like the 2 hour looks pretty bearish. The stochastics are pushing down, but they could round off. The 3 hours a little overbought, and it's away from the 21, and it's got an indecision doji, so it doesn't look great. And the 4 hours doing the same thing, just a little too far away from the 21. So like very high risk trade that I'm taking here, honestly, like very high risk. If I wasn't in the competition, I may not take it, but I want to just push the floor on this last trade of the comp. Either we lose hard or we win hard here at the end, and want to pull it off. So a nice candle up here to the upside, giving us a little bit of love here on the trade on week's perpetual. All right, and there's a fast $20, 25 bucks up 1%. We're getting a nice little pump off that 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame, but it could be very ephemeral, which means short-lived here. Thank you so much for that beautiful super chat. And let's take a look at those super chats that are pouring on in here. We don't want to miss them. We got Kid Crushing Fish as the 5 minute 2 MA curving down bearish. PVS competitor to render company with 1,000 employees. Remember, I don't know what that means, but God bless you. PVS competitor to render. Oh, competitor to render. Okay. Oh, PVS, a competitor to render with 1,000 employees. Thank you. We'll take a look. Love from India, dear. I'm a student learning a lot from you. Dear, may God bless you. Lots of love from India. Always stay happy. God bless you, Isha. Argawal. Isha, I'm 100% with you on that idea. There was years where I was young, ready to go, and healthy, and I spent days kind of depressed in my mind, and I lost opportunity because I let my mind focus on what I didn't need to be focused on. I've now broken free of that. I've changed my life in the way in which I interpret my energy, and I'm able to guide that energy in the right, proper way and use my momentum and my positive energy to help others. But thank you so much for reinforcing that by sending in a super chat of light, love, and happiness. That's very nice of you. God bless you. Thank you very much. I'll take all the positive support I can get, any chance I can get it. Compliments, thank you. You know what I mean? Anyone who says anything nice, I will eat it up. Thank you very much. God bless you. You're a beautiful person. When you're able to give even kind words, that is giving. That is energy. You're passing your energy to others. Say something nice to someone you've never met. You see them wearing a hat, say, hey, that's a nice hat. You know they wore a hat because they wanted people to notice it. Notice their hat for them and tell them that you like it. Shout out to everybody here. Let's put lemon in the water. God bless everybody. I have been unable to work out the last 3 days because of my back. I pulled my back out, or whatever you want to call it. Like, but I'm already feeling about 60% better, but I do get sharp pains when I'm driving still. Almost got to some sciatica yesterday, like going down the right hip, but I'm working through it. I'm moving around. I'm using the jacuzzi, and slowly but surely, today is way better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be the same. And in 5 days, I'm sure I'm going to be right as rain. And, the stand-up desk actually I think has been good for me because it keeps me mobile, keeps me from sitting. If I was sitting, it would be, I think this would take a lot longer to heal. So. Tough trade here, not looking amazing. Some bearishness in the air. This could even make a right shoulder. If it does, I may have to bail. Like if it tells me what it's going to do, then I got to listen. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, almost there for Bitcoin. And that 1 minute is pretty interesting. You'd be surprised how amazing it is. But there it is. I either go down in flames or go up and we pump. We already had some great trades this week, though, so it is what it is. Sending positive and healing vibes to you, Lifer. Thank you, Clinton. I already feel it, man. A backy out of me. Nice suit. Thank you. Appreciate that. So only time will tell for Bitcoin. We'd like to see the 1 hour stay above the 200 MA. We'd like to see the daily turn green. There's a lot of things I desire to see today for Bitcoin to create a bullish move here. We want to get above this resistance at 83.3. We really want to soar back to 89,000. Break through 87 even right there. This is a key level we want to break through. There's a high volume node there. There's a nice gap with the VRVP. We can get it pushing to 87.3. If we could get this movement, get a catalyst for some bots, squeeze these shorts, and get a move to the upside. Getting a little bit of a move here, a little bit of red, finding its way at 81.8. Just enough to get us up a couple $100 possibly. Sam at UTC, you can walk in, relax, spa for some quick massage work on your back. Thank you. I may do that today. God bless you. Shout out to Roger Mitchell. Happy birthday, man. God bless you. And yeah, it's about being here every single day. You're not going to hit it out the park every day. But if you show up every single day, there's going to be some big wins that take care of the losses and keep you moving. And that's all you need. But you got to be consistent or you're not going to get those wins. Just not going to happen. All right. Hey, what indicator is showing the volume on the right side? That's the VRVP. We talked about it earlier. You go over here and type in VRVP. I said it's not going to look just like mine. You're going to go to the settings and just go to the inputs and change what was 24 to 240. Put a 0 next to the 24. It's so simple. And that is the settings for the VRVP. A lot of people call it the VPVR. I just find it as the VRVP. And that's just what I see. All right. Last time to buy. You never know what could happen. I wouldn't say that. I'm open-minded to believe anything could be possible, Zima. But we'll take it one step at a time. One day at a time. One moment at a time. Because, man, this crypto market, if you tell yourself you know what's happening, you can get yourself wrecked. Even me, you know. Everyone thinks I have all the answers. I'm the guy that knows I don't. I think that gives me way more answers than most. See, most people think they have the answers, and that's why they don't, because nobody does. If you think you don't, then you know, it's very similar to Kung Fu or, you know, you're fighting your opponent. I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to do a kick, then do that. No, you don't. You don't know what he's going to do, but you know how to defend what is going to come at you. You've studied all the different moves that can happen, and you're ready to defend it. That's trading, okay? That's trading in a nutshell. And look at that. Even there, you know, you don't have to lose a lot. I take a look at this and decide, you know, is this worthy? Look, we already lost the 200 MA there. We've got to get back above that on the 1 minute pretty fast. You can't lose this support here too. Then you're going to drop down to 81.2. You can just see it. There's resistance. That's support. You got to bounce. You got to bounce. If you don't bounce, it's just not going to happen here. See what I'm saying? You got to get back above that 200 MA to remain bullish. See, that's bearish to me. A lot of days I'll cut that off and I don't have to lose the 100, you know, whatever big money I was going to have in there. Got to get the bounce now on the 1 minute. The 1 minute can save you money if you know how to trade it. You can't be too emotional about it. Okay? Shout out to the amazing super chats coming in all the time. Sammy, you have provided clarity in previous world of trading turmoil. God bless you. Take care of your back, brother. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much for the Canadian $100. You didn't have to give, but you did. May God bless you. Thank you so much for the love. That's very, very nice of you. You didn't have to give that. Somehow $1,000 is going to come back to you in the next few days. 10x. I don't know how it happens, but when we give, we receive 10x. Givers gain every single time. Thank you. And you also just told the world that, you know what? I know so much is coming back to me. I'm willing to open my mind, open my heart, and open my hand to give. And whenever I give, I get back extremely well every single time. I'm telling you, every single time. So there's not a day goes by that I don't get back from my givings. There's so much energy that you receive when you give. It's just people that don't give are missing out on the greatest superpower in history in the world. Because if you know, man, Thursdays are a tough day to trade for me. I personally just stay away usually. Want to pull off one last day and, you know, yeah, that's another thing. I want to take a look at that. I mean, it makes sense. The first thing that would start coming back strong would be, and you almost got to say it with the Boston accent, the FARTCOIN there, kid. Oh, you trading FARTCOIN there? You one of those? You're one of those smelly kids. Well, yeah, I'd take a look at the chart. I mean, I'll look whatever you got to look at. So the last time I looked at it, I saw it at this kind of falling wedge that may break back to the upside, and it's up. Someone must have asked me about it, I don't know, a week or two ago. Up 127% too. A little sell-off here now. And it's likely going to come back down to that 21. Maybe make a cup and handle. Retest 57. But it did a nice, solid kind of rounded bottom there. You never know. I don't own any. I'm not really into it, so it is what it is. Man, BTC closing another candle below the 200 MA on that 1 minute. It's got to get back above there to remain bullish. There's got to be the flag, basically the pattern in the stochastic have to make it happen right now. They got to break us back above this key support. I can't watch. I got to look at another asset quick. Somebody give me a super chat or a coin to talk about, please, quick. Something. I got a few actually, so I'll swing them out, but I want to see if you guys can get my attention off of the trade for a second. It helps me. I don't want to stare at my trade right now. I need you to give me a coin or two. Where are my people here? Please, something. Give me something to talk about. AERO, we'll take a look at AERO. XRP, Giga. VRA, Ondo. Let's take a look at Ondo. Brett, XCN. Oh, yeah, we got to look at XCN. XCN holding us down. Thursdays, after massive liquidations, one of the worst days to trade. You heard it here. So XCN, the last time someone asked me about it, I drew this kind of, we're looking for the falling, maybe a rounded bottom for a move. Pumped up and broke resistance nicely. Back up to 1.4. That's nice. I like that. And I'm in the XCN crew who holds. I hold XCN, so I'm there. I'm in there with y'all. And to me, it was the only thing I started buying it around here because, around here, even 1.3, 1.4, they kept going, bought a little more, and that was it. And then I'm basically around break even, but I bought this thing low on the lows, on the extreme lows. The 3-day chart looks beautiful for a continuation. It did break a long time resistance. It started after the downtrend began. That started in January 28th. I mean, so you're talking a 4-month downtrend. All right. Shout out to Master Friend. Can you go over Bitcoin, please? Yes, no, I'm so sorry. Did we not do that? Shout out to Master Friend of the house. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Right now, Bitcoin looks bearish. Losing the 1 minute 200 MA is not a great sign for me personally. It's in a bit of a bull flag that's possibly attempting to break out, though, and defy the odds with really beat low stochastics. So in the next 10 minutes, we're either going to get rejected by the 200 and roll over and continue this dump and possibly make, look, what is a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, or we're going to continue above this 200 maybe make a, retest it, and then possibly go for some highs. I got mixed signals today, and I can see it going either way. I'm waiting for confirmation before I can, make my final decision. I took a very risky long that I probably shouldn't have taken on a Thursday. However, you know, we did pretty good yesterday, so I'm risking a little bit for that, and we'll go from there. Your model worked great on the last XCN run. It did. We'll see if it happens again the same way. Well, let's go back to the daily. Yeah, so we just bounced off the daily 200 MA. Let's go to the 4 hour. We just got above the 4 hour of 200. So what I would do, and what I love doing now, is I search for these types of behaviors. I want to look for oversold, getting to oversold. I want to see that 21 curving, basically pre-golden crosses, and we want to see the pullback. And maybe we pump higher. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. I may have to take this whole model and move it up. But eventually, we're going to tweezer top of the 4 hour with a red candle, and it's going to signal some type of consolidation. And we're going to reach back down to that 21-day moving average. We're going to connect. And so I just put an alert. When that happens, I'm in there. And I'll be looking to take advantage with a, you know, stop on the other side of that 200 MA. That trade might take a day or two to play out, so I don't have to stare at it. I could just let it cook. 81.5, a key level of psychological support or resistance. There's a battle at 81.5. BOOKMAP suggests we will lose that battle and dump down to 80,004. I will lose this trade. That's what BOOKMAP suggests. It's pretty accurate. So I'm counter trading BOOKMAP. I'm counter trading my own advice, because I don't like to trade Thursdays. So we'll see. Can I pull off an improbable win here on a Thursday? CME gap at 85.9 going to fill tomorrow, somebody says. Let's take a look at the CME gap and confirm or deny this speculative mention. All right. So look at that beautiful CME gap that got filled. And it's interesting, everyone says, you know, the tariffs, but look, there was a CME gap too that needed to be filled. If you go back in time here, it's crazy. Like, we filled it a little bit, but we really filled it. I don't need it at the moment, but. So let's take a look here on the daily. Somebody says there's a CME gap, maybe on the 1 hour. I don't know. There was one there that's been filled already. I don't see a CME gap. Let's see here again. CME gap at 85.9 going to fill tomorrow. 93. 85.9, huh? On the 3-day, on the weekly. I just don't see it here. Bitcoin CME futures. And Bitcoin dumping hard right now. No love for the weary, man. That's it. It's time to bail. It's time to bail. Yeah, nasty dump up on my BOOKMAP. I don't see a gap, man. I don't know if you were distracted. Oh, there's a gap right there. There's the gap. Let me show you. I think there it is. Yeah. It's on the 1 hour. It's a tiny gap, though. But it's a gap nonetheless. I'll give it to you. It's a gap, and it's where you said it is. So there's a little gap there. I figured there was one there because you wouldn't just, like, you can't say there's a, like, I knew you saw it. Like, I just wanted to, I was wondering where it was. There's a gap up there. And see how the gaps fulfill with the high volume node and the VRVP? Like, they match pretty easily. Interesting, right? So down 115 now, way below the 200 MA. Look, this looks no go. We didn't get what we were looking for. We didn't get the love. Could make a right shoulder. One hour still has that candle, but now it's getting rejected by the 200. The 200. The 200. I said 100. The 200 moving average for Bitcoin. So why would you use a moving average for Bitcoin? Why would you use a moving average for anything? Well, the best way to learn anything is to look at your Dow Jones Industrial, right? That's how I really got to know trading, is I looked at the Dow every day. I looked at the Dow, all right? let's see here. I had this show going. And I would look at the DJ, right? The Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at that beautiful double bottom, just like Bitcoin did. I mean, they did the exact same thing. Bitcoin and the Dow, identical, right? Funny, head and shoulder dump to the downside. But if you slap on the moving averages of the Dow tells a pretty cool story. And I use like the 3-day chart. And you can kind of talk about bull runs and bear markets, right? And like you can go all the way back. So I use the Dow, and the Dow taught me how to trade Bitcoin. How? Why is that? Well, I just started historically finding out how things happened. So back to 1983. All right, right there, October of 1982, the Dow got above the 200 MA on the 3-day chart. You can see the stochastics were low here at this buying opportunity. There was a bullish divergence. So bullish div on the 3-day is strong. You see what I'm saying? And when you're below the 200 MA with bullish divvy, it could, you know, give you an indication it's time to take advantage of the trade. Now broke up. Now you get this kind of reversal here, and you bounce off the 200 MA. Then you make a flag. You can even almost see like it flattens out there, and you retest this top trend line, support and resistance. Then a rising wedge breaks to the downside. Back to the 200 MA, right? But you make a hidden bullish divergence that plays out. Because if you see this here, you can see you easily swing up, but RSI swings down, telling you that the price action should continue further to the upside. And actually, it is a little funky. But in general, you do see a downward and upward price action. The point what I want you to see is how the 200 MA is forming the beginning of bigger moves. But once you get the 21 away from the 200, you get these crashes. Until the tight action gets again, and you get these movements. Then you get these crashes till it's tight. So what I learned was to get in when moving averages are tight. That's when I wanted to be long-term investing in the best assets in the world on big time frames, right? So I started using the 2-week chart. It was my favorite. And I started waiting to see when, you know, price action had tight price action, low stochastic. That was going to be the best prices I would ever get for an asset. And I would wait for those times. Right there was a great time. Low stochastic, 2-week, tight. And again, it doesn't say buy today for sure. It gives you a broad range. This is the patient man. See, the beginner trader buys at 12,000. It goes down to 10,000. He's depleted. I lost 20%. I lost it all. But this guy's buying in these areas knowing that eventually there's going to be the bigger move. And so I started opening my mind to long-term investing and trading and seeing things differently. And this is how, like, you know, and so you can see here, when the 21 got away from the 200, you knew, like, you know, that's not, you know, this is the discount here. This is when you're starting to get into the premium. And so you could kind of, you know, you can learn how to trade Bitcoin by looking at all these different parameters. Look when the Dow lost the 200 MA here. Same when, right there, right? Dumpage. Now let's go to Bitcoin on the 1-minute time frame. And you can see the same thing. Like when Bitcoin loses the 200 MA, dumpage. That's no different than the Dow on the 4-hour losing the 200. They're the exact same thing. Like, you see? And now there's dumpage, and you got to learn. Do I cut it off? Do I let it hang? Nasty Thursdays, right? And while I could cut it off, it'd bounce right back the other way. Like, it's one of those days where it keeps you stuck. And that's why people take a lot of big losses, because they can't take an L. They can't take a small L, so they take big L's. You see what I'm saying? Like, they get, like, maybe it does flip the other way. You know, and fine. If I see a model, then I'd have to tackle it again. But now we lost 81K. And the 200 MA on the 1 minute told us what was likely going to happen here. Attempting to bounce us back again, and you kind of had that shoulder, head, shoulder, a double top. We could read the signs here. No emotions though, just cool as a cucumber. One moment, one step, one candle at a time. Know what you're willing to lose and stick to it. You got to be okay with what you're willing to lose. They will play with, yeah, they bring it up. No Pants Thursday. Shout out to Juan Gomez. God bless you, brother. 1 hour closed twice below the 200 MA now. Yeah, no go. It's not a great sign. 1, 2 closes below. Like starting to look like one of these, right? A rollover. The 4 hour is a little too far from that 21, and we could get a dumpage. The curvature is nice, but the stochastics are also high. Some days I'll come here and I'll say, I said that trade looks beautiful. I'll take it all the time. Boom. Today's not one of those days. Today's one of those days where it's like, 50-50. How's New York bumper dump launch coming? Yeah. Bitcoin follows the stock market because it follows the M2 money supply. How much money is coming into the market? It's a big asset. It needs a lot of money to move. So when the bank system opens up and starts flooding money into the markets, that floods money into Bitcoin and all around the world. It's liquidity. It's global liquidity. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, think about it. Like, logically think about where things come from. The richest people in the world run the market. When they decide to move their money, that's when the market really moves. We can do all we want as retail, but we'll never have the money they have, so we can't push it the way they can push it. So, of course, the biggest money is going to move any asset in the world, and once an asset gets pretty big enough to get people with big money in it, it's going to be somewhat correlated to the assets that the people with big money are putting big money into. So it is what it is, man. To me, it's not, everyone says it's rigged. It is what it is, but it is what it is. Right. And price action it can be back and forth. Trading can be tiring. Anything that you put effort into is never easy over time. It's about doing it day in and day out, no matter what. And having conviction in what you're doing over time. Yeah. God's good. I'll bounce back and keep up the hard work. Amen. Suit looking fresh. Thank you for saying that. God bless you. Appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say you didn't have to do that. And you can trade gold at PAXG. PAXG is going to be your gold equivalent crypto coin. It's been out for a long time too. It's not some new age thing. And gold getting a rippage. So look, the diamond played out in the diamond, down the diamond, which is interesting. But gold getting back above the 200 for a rip ski to the upski. Look at that, man. Gold getting back on, and the day looks really hot. The daily looks like this is like a bull flag that's possibly got numbers further to 3,156. Chance it mellows out a little bit here, but still really wants to roll. And the bigger target does take you to about 35.66 for gold. Looked like it was going to cool off a little bit and consolidate. Beautiful bounce there, though, for gold. Really, previous support became resistance, and people took nibbles on that. Just, there's people that just trade support or resistance, and that's all you got to look at. Good morning, Sam. Great day. It's my birthday. Sent an email yesterday. Please keep an eye out for it. I saw your email, man. God bless you. Thank you so much. Right before I went to bed last night at like 1:30 in the morning, I did see your email. Happy birthday, friend, and hope you enjoy your beautiful day. Birthdays are interesting for me. I still love them. I'm like a little kid, so I get all excited. Like, I still get all excited. Like, it's going to be this amazing. And to me, it is an amazing day. It's your birthday, My daughters were so nice to me. I got a letter from my kid, my mom, my wife, and it said, a wonderful person like you deserves the very best of everything. Hope your year brings you all that you dream of and more. Hope this year. She said, I got to hold my tear back, right? Because I'm such a softie for my kids and my wife. But she said, if I were to put how good of a dad you are, it wouldn't fit on this card or 100 more. And then my daughter, I love you so much. You and me have been together since Woodside. You were always there for me. You are the best. You inspire me. Always love you, And it's like family is everything, man, for me. And then your birthday goes and you look back on it, and then a month goes by and another month goes by, and next thing you know, a half a year, and you're like, wow, I'm already halfway to my next birthday. You know, I just moved to Florida. April 28th of 2024. How in 18 days I will have lived in Florida for a year? How is that possible, everybody? How? How have I lived in Florida for a year? I just don't even believe it. It doesn't make sense. How has time gone by so fast? And so another year and soon 4 years will go by again, and we'll be here again doing our thing. So I'm still in the trade. As you can see, I've got conviction. I'm not just going to skip out on emotions here. We're going to see what can happen. Can we get back above that too? The 1 hour looks interesting to me. And see, I don't know why this is keeping this trash on there. But the 1 hour looks interesting to me. And get above that 200, we get this continuation. There's just this airy chance here for Bitcoin. I'll keep it open. I'm willing. I can afford to lose. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. He said, flipping the charts of the 5 minute, you can see a possible inverted head and shoulder to the downside. Yeah, I see. You see like this, like a head and shoulder. Dumpage, right? Something like that, possibly. But it could be the higher low with the cup and handle too as well. But I got you. Might even make a right shoulder here. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I see it. Thank you. Yeah, I see some bearishness for sure. I mean, we had it. It started here. And it all started when we lost the 200 MA on that 5 minute time frame. We've been bearish ever since. It'll take a miracle for the bulls to pull this off today. When you get a chance, can you look at... It's true, though. We got all of the liquidity taken out yesterday, and we got the best of the best. You know, what are the odds that we're going to be able to win again? It's low. Let's take a look at AERO. I've seen some whales jumping in saying, hey, I like this price. I mean, AERO's following Bitcoin, and it looks so beautiful. It almost says that how could Bitcoin not pump if AERO looks so good? You know, it's like... But that doesn't mean anything, you know. 21 above the 200, low stochastic. You'd expect the pump here. But the last time I saw something like this, it looked really nice. And we ended up slumping to the downside. A couple times now, like right there, you know. So, again, this is finally looking more like a bottom than anything we've seen with the higher low. But it's not. And wow, back to 36,977 for AERO. 369. All right. 4655 for AERO. Back to 80,009 for Bitcoin collapsing. Looked like it was hold just to entice me. And no, it's not looking good for BTC. It just doesn't look good. And, you know, I usually don't trade Thursday. It's not a good day to trade, specifically after CPI, and we have PPI tomorrow. Slumpage. And I should know better just to walk away. But I guess, it's like, you know, I want to make the stream fun sometimes and just, like, give there some exhilaration. You know what I mean? Like, what will happen here? It's one of those days I pull a trade off, it pumps the other way, too, you know? And when people are watching you, there's so much speculation. It can affect the way you trade when you know people are staring at your every move. It can. It's like that. It's like the double slit theory. Like nobody's watching. Somebody like I become a wave or a particle. You know, and as funny as that is, it's true though, right? I mean, I'm just gonna cut it off. It doesn't look good to me. I'll get back in later if we get back above it. Let me just take a look at my 1 hour one last time. 46 minutes we have till this candle closes. I just got to say it looks bearish to me. A pullback looks more imminent. I'm out. I'm going to be able to I'm going to cut my trade off. Here, go to last and say close. And there you go. I'm out. Live to fight another day. Don't get clipped out. You don't have to lose thousands of dollars. Just cut off the trade. Things aren't going our way. It's not looking good. We should have been pumping by now. You know, if your setup doesn't work, then cut it off. You don't have to force it. You can mitigate right now. You could trade cross leverage, keep adding, wait for it to go down, wait for a pump. But I don't want to do that. That's not worth the $240 to me. That's a waste of my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make too much an hour for that nonsense. You get what I mean? Like, you got to look at your time and common sense it and say, how much is it worth? Look how much we would have lost already, down to 80,007. Now, it's definitely looks like a short. So why don't I short now? I usually don't go into a trade after I get out of a trade. It's another one of my rules. You know? Then I feel like I'm over trading, and it just doesn't feel good. So it's not my thing. Sam, do you know when I change time frames to say the 1 hour? Sorry, man. It doesn't make any sense, though. Yeah. AERO does look like it's nice, but I wouldn't touch anything if Bitcoin doesn't look good, except for maybe gold, right? Let's take a look at the S&P futures for a split second and see what's happening to the S&P. Again, same idea. Big pump, shoulder, head, right shoulder, nice rollover. And again, there's the people taking profits that nailed a nice pump. Now, previous support is resistance there. You got to flip that. And, you know, this could be bearish. Like, we could continue to dump down to the 786 to 4,600 on the S&P. See what happens in the next few days. But, you know, we're kind of doing exactly what Bitcoin's doing. Identical. And to me, it's the 4 hours coming back to the 21-day moving average. When that occurs, then we can possibly get busy again. You know, so the 21, and that's in the same exact thing for Bitcoin. They're twinsies right now. AERO does look like it's a little more bullish than even BTC. So now you got to just, you know, go with the flow with the idea that you're going to be revisiting the 200 MA on that 1 hour time frame. I mean, the 4 hours. So now I give up. The smaller time frames have confirmed to me that we're not going to get the pump. They could have done something different, and I could have won, but it wasn't the case. So I cut off the trade. It sucks to lose in front of people. I don't win every day. If I did, I'd be amazing. This trading is not easy, and I knew not to trade on Thursday. I just did it probably because people are watching me, and sometimes I trade for entertainment purposes when I shouldn't. There's a, you know, you might too if you were me. It's not easy. I deal with it every single day. The stress of the ups and downs. It's just, I deal with the stress of being live every single day by meditating, going in nature, relaxing, breathing, and just keeping my chi on point. You know what I mean? Like, so the 4 hour looks like it's going to dump back down to the 200 MA. And look, we just saved ourselves a lot of money there. That would have continued to dump. We would have lost like $400 to $500. So no need. Just lost 220. You know. And there you are with the dumpage down. And it was confirmed that we were going to dump. So if you're watching this channel, I mean, you got some pretty good direct access, right? Right as we lost the 200 MA, you could see, and look, that has a head and shoulder pattern in there. You can see it. It's a shoulder, a double-topped head with the right shoulder. It retests the neckline. It dumps. It makes a bear flag and then collapse to the downside. Loses the POC, goes through the gap window in the VRVP, and then falls to the volume area low. I mean, it's just textbook. So why didn't you short, Sam? Hey, I was on the wrong side of the trade, and I don't chase when I'm wrong. All right? And because I'm more bullishly biased, I take bullish bias shots a lot of times, maybe when I shouldn't. And maybe I'll slowly correct that over time. Everybody has a weakness in their trading style. If I didn't have one, then I wouldn't be a human being. I am not Iron Man. Okay? I am not perfect. What I am really good at is not losing a lot of money. When I lose, it's not huge. I don't get liquidated from my account. I keep my capital. There could be another great day where the trading is just boom, 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 trade after trade, boom. That's coming. I know there's going to be a day like that. It's not today, but that day is coming. And on that day, I would like to be ready and charged. Okay, until then, there's no reason to waste the capital. Understood? We're going to this 21 on the 4 hour time frame. I'm convinced of it. Unless we can hold this level here and bounce off 79,971 for Bitcoin. 81,600 short. Love this. We know your place. Some trades of the side out there just to entertain you, Sammy. All good. Thank you for your sacrifice. You find longs in a sea of shorts. Amen. XCN printing. I love to hear that. As an XCN holder and a believer in that low, look at that thing booming to the upside, just continuing to rip. Not taking no names, just going for it. And it made a beautiful little bull pennant there. You see that? See if you can charge to the measured move there. Eventually, it's going to be coming back down. But not too far for the 21 on the 15. Looks like it may charge. I mean, that's got a nice target there. That thing is flying. I see it going to 1.7. I don't see what's really stopping it right now at the present moment in time. I like it. I like what I'm seeing here. So Bitcoin playing games here. I would be watching out on the one, but and tomorrow's PPI. I think people are sleeping on NFTs like the loyals. Maybe, maybe not. Shout out to Panda Poet. Do you think Bitcoin follows global M2 chart? It will. Over time, yes. And we got a Polkadot super chat here on MEXC. On Polkadot here on the channel. Let's take a look at Polkadot on MEXC. Losing the 200 MA there, bearish for me at the present moment. I've never, when it first came out at $4 or $5 and then it ripped, I was a fan. It was one of the top bigger coins, but I don't know, man. Something about this chain, once they started the parachains and they made everyone commit the dot, I knew it was not going anywhere. Because this is why. It became what's called a specialist chain. Meaning, if you just jumped in out of nowhere and didn't know a lot about Polkadot, you didn't know about the parachains, you had actually, like, even if you deep dived it, it wasn't that clear. Like, I knew a lot about it and still wasn't an expert at it. And I'm just trying to, and once that happens, what you do is you scare away a lot of retail because they don't have the ability to understand what's happening. Also, it made the people that had to parachain commit Polkadot, which to me took Polkadot out of circulation, and I speculated it would not have good volume or volatility, and that's what happened. It stayed pretty flat compared to other coins. Now, of course, it moved with the market. It had its bull run there from 5, you could say, look, it went from a 10 to 5, it did a 5x. Boo-hoo, and you would have to hold from 5 right here and all the way get your 10x. And it took it took a year, like it's over a year. Fine, it wasn't the worst. But since then, nah. And influence has fallen off. There's speculation about the founder. I won't say any unmentionables. It's just, I don't know. It's not my chain, and I'd stay away from it. But that's me. Again, like most, it could rise with the tide back to 11. But that seems to be its high, and it's going to take some time. Maybe like 6 to 7 months if we get a move. So I'm not a fan of Polkadot here at all. And God bless the team and everyone at Polkadot. For me as a speculative trader, it's not my thing. It's just not my thing. Yep. Gold up 2% on the day. Tether dominance getting some steam here. Not the best. We wanted to see if it would break out of this flag. It did that. Now you're getting more inside the falling wedge, though. Look, you broke above the 200 on the daily. That's been leading the charge. I want to see the 3-day just peaked above, but there's a bearish divvy there. But the 3-day just peaked above. Interesting. Tether dominance starting to get a little weary. Like, people have to realize, just like I showed earlier today, we could still get a nasty drop. I think we get bullish for a second and people get overly bullish. I'll tell you what, 80,800 was a big deal for me. We stayed above 80,008, we could continue to crush it. We lose 80,008, not a good look at all. All right. Someone said SEI is I don't know what it is. It's dropping like a fly. This is a sleeper chain. It's one of the fastest chains. Never got the love it should have in the last run. Super underrated. I own some of it, so I guess like I'm gonna, you know, mention it as great, but I just don't people realize what's gonna happen if we eventually get any adoption and movement back in the market. You know. I have a new speculative idea though. All right. We know innovation in this market takes about a year to 2 years to change. Like we had DeFi, but then because the people watching those coins, they change and they make new coins. So once they watch the ecosystem, they start developing new coins and new ecosystems. And that's why we get these run-ups in coins and rundowns, because then the new coins come out and the old ones just, they really can't hang with the new tech. Now, usually we at least get a bull run long enough for the coins that tech isn't amazing to still get a run. This run's been so long and so dilapidated and diluted, right? And look, the bot just entered along, so the bot sees something right now for a possible move. My point is, we didn't get enough of a master bull run to make the gains on the coins when they had momentum and people cared about them. And now the tech's going to change. And by the time this cycle has a time to rip, there's going to be new tech. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's going to happen to SEI, but you know, there may be a few that hang on, but it's also a dilemma because you need the cycle to play out during the time the tech is somewhat relevant. You get what I mean? Because if the cycle gets extended for too long and the tech continues to change, then those coins get more and more irrelevant. And eventually the older coins cannot pump like they used to. And this is something that no one said this. I'm the only one to really speak on this. I haven't, you know, again, it's somewhat common sense, right? But it's definitely something to be considered. And this is a meta idea. This is outside of the charts. Like you just kind of, and so now it's another better time for me personally, not to DCA in every single coin that I used to buy and to possibly reinvent the wheel here, stack capital, speculate more on what kind of tech I see happening and wait for the run. You know, here's an idea. Let's just say like DeFi AI, right? DeFi AI, which we know is going to have a bigger version of where to put the money. It's going to faster, boom, boom, boom. It's going to have all these, you know, how to collateralize, do all these funner things in a safer manner because it can do it all night long or you can't do it. And so it can do DeFi times 10 for you. And we know that's going to have a bigger narrative and there's going to be a lot. And so right now you could be in a narrative that has run up like RWA. And you're in here down still at coins that are way down. Ondo, right? Like I am, GFI, Railio, right? And they may eventually get their run. But like, you may put some capital in DeFi AI halfway through its rally here and make way more on just this speculative rally before it crashes. Just like we had the rally on, you know, when we had the rally that happened on virtual. You know, it was tiny and it 10x'd out of nowhere. You could have made more money on that new speculative than holding your older coins. And so I'm starting to save capital for whatever this new rally will be. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be around. And so to me, I got to start kind of, you know, squirreling away capital for these opportunities that aren't even here yet, because they're going to come, because tech has always changed. And this is how you can't follow the herd. Like no one's saying this, no one's doing this. Everyone else is just going to keep buying all the old stuff and tell you it's time to. No one has mentioned this. This is a paradigm shift in my mind. And again, maybe I keep too much on the sidelines that I miss out. But for me, this is how I'm able to stay on top. I'm able to kind of go against the herd, stack cash when most people are over speculating. And I've learned too, another thing for me, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I learned in the last few cycles. Fine. My first cycle, I got in super early. I was, you know, broke. I didn't have a lot of money. I needed to put all my money in and let it go up. Came down, run it up, ended up with some crypto in a better place than I was. Learned how I could have, you know, I turned 40 grand and, you know, at one point into 300. It was an amazing run. I saw $300,000 in my account. You know, I couldn't believe it. At the time, it was the most money I could ever even fathom to have even close to. I couldn't believe it. And then the next rally, right? the next rally came and went. And I made some great gains. We found some awesome opportunity. Definitely over speculated in some gaming coins here too, though. And learned a harsh lesson. You know. And now this rally too. This rally came, and honestly, this rally, it hasn't been higher than, it was never higher than March of 2024. And there was massive gains made for me on many parts. And I did take profits these times because I kept telling myself take profits. But I was, you know, also be speculating for a bigger rally, of course, too. And then I think back, well, the biggest money I made were these big swing trades that I made on coins in a few days, a couple hours, you know. And so my new mind is like, I'm not putting so much of my capital down here and waiting and waiting. I'm just waiting for the rallies to begin. And I'm just going to trade these sections. You know what I mean? With big swing trades. And I'm going to make more money here than I did playing games. But that's me. You do what makes you happy. But that's me. Like, I've learned. And also, I have access to more capital at this point. So this is kind of, you know, before I had such small amounts that I needed to grow. Now I have good amounts. I just need to double, triple. I want to add. I don't need to be too greedy. And this rally hold true. Like, had I done more of that. And so again, I'm not gonna never give up on my DCAs and my speculative ideas, but I'm just gonna have more capital on the side for whatever becomes, and because there's gonna be something coming our way, and everyone's like, I wish I wasn't in all these coins from, you know, 2018. You know, and that can sneak up on you for sure. Bitcoin dumping. You know, we could tell it didn't look good. I mean, you came here for the forecast. You got the forecast. I don't have to be right on all my trades, but I could be pretty right on where the price action's going. And again, it started with a shoulder, had a right shoulder right there. We lost the 200 MA on the 5-minute time frame. We retested it. And now we're playing games at the low 80,000s again. Speculating back down. And the best way to do this is to look at your 4-hour and just keep a clear head. Whenever you dump, you like to come back to the 21-day moving average. These two are going to meet unless this support or resistance can hold, which is a chance because there's resistance right here. Look for this bounce. And then if the 4-hour were to make, see, I'll trade the flag if the flag shows itself. It will reveal. A bullish trade will reveal itself before it happens. You see? Nice. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying, oh, we're going to long right here. This is going to pump. I'm just saying if we're bullish, this is what would happen. If not, we'll continue to dump and find something. You know, we might even head right shoulder here. This boogie on down. I don't know what's going to happen. I am not a futurist. I mean, I am a futurist, but I'm not a psychic. I don't know what's going to happen for sure. I have no idea. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I show up every day and do my best. Some days I'm way off. Some days I'm so spot on, it's ridiculous. I hope I'm more spot on for you than not. Who here gained an education from me today? Did you learn something watching the stream so far at 11:32? Even in my loss, did you learn something? How to cut off a loss? Maybe you have a problem cutting off losses, and when you saw me do that, you're like, wow, had I done that, I wouldn't have lost 1,000. I would have only lost 200. That man just showed me how to be more disciplined about my trading. Or maybe you said, wow, he's a flip-flopper. He should have stayed to his stop loss. He should never have gotten out there. I don't know. You might have you might have an opinion that I'm not privy to. But did you learn something watching the stream today? Or do you think I'm just, oh, he's a horrible trader. That guy's the worst. Whatever makes you happy, you know, maybe my loss makes you feel better about your life. I don't know. All right. Look at this. Losing 80K, though, now to 79. Ugh. And that's when you know. Again, this all started when we saw a head and shoulder on the 5-minute time frame. It told us what was likely going to happen. And you can see what is likely now happening. So it's doing the do. It's doing what it does. Bitcoin. 79,958 for BTC. And once we lose this key level, we're going to drop to the 21. And right here to this node, it's 78,000. It just is what it is. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but the probabilities are starting to build. We would have to be getting a wick type of bounce here in the next hour or so. This 4-hour candle closes in 25 minutes. That will be a very bearish close as well for Bitcoin. I'm getting a news blurb from TV saying Master may need to sell so Bitcoin reserves if price continue to fall because it's used as a loan collateral. Didn't say they'd never be forced to sell. I think you're like reading some nonsense. Yeah. What if I'm struggling is not being supported in my trading journey? What I'm struggling with is not being supported in my trading journey. Any advice? What I'm struggling is, I don't know what that means, but most times when I struggled as a trader, it wasn't because I was bad at trading per se. I was bad at juggling my own life. You know, I didn't take time to meditate. I drank alcohol at least 3 to 4 times a week, on and off. Wasn't the biggest drinker, but I drank it enough. And it gave me pains in the stomach. It gave me diarrhea a lot. Almost every time I drank alcohol, it gave me some type of bowel movement I wasn't a fan of. I don't mean to be rude. I'm being honest. My body couldn't handle it, and everyone else kept drinking it like it was easy. And I was like, why is this so hard for me? Even 5 beers at the baseball game, and I'm just like, the next day, I don't feel too good. I got bubble guts. My stomach hurts, you know. I just realized I was alcohol intolerant, you know what I mean? Everyone's like to be lactose. I couldn't handle it. My body did not like it. I eventually stopped drinking it, and things got better for me. My mind got clear. I started seeing things clearer. And it took me a long time of abusing alcohol over and over again, even though I wasn't the biggest drinker. But I guess, you know, I did it enough for it to be a part of my life. Being Irish from Boston, I felt like it was what I had to do. I would go home and my dad would drag me, literally would say, hey, let's go to, he'd get restless. He'd be like, hey, will you drive me to the bar? And my mom would roll her eyes and be like, you know, Sam comes home and have a good time, and then you drag him to the bar, right? And I would, towards the end, I would like sip on one Guinness and watch my dad drink like 5 or 6. God rest his soul, I loved him. I said, you know what, he's old. Let him do what he wants, you know? Here's the dump back to the 21, and really could have just shorted back to the 21. I know it's going back there. That's my strategy. So back to the 21 in a major way, too, with the dumpage. And we stepped out of a nasty long that would have demolished us. So, hey, defense is sometimes the greatest offense. It's what you got to do to provide, right? And yeah, and going was, yep. If you have a problem, there's always hope. My man drank, he said, 365 plus days a year. Quitting almost 9 years ago and going was the best thing I ever did. God bless you, man. Yeah, so if you're having a lot of trouble trading, please, you know, get a morning routine. Start working out. Take care of yourself. Get situated. Get scheduled. Get yourself on a schedule. So a major resistance for Bitcoin here. You can see the 4-hour time frame not able to get back above the 200 MA and likely coming back to the 21. We knew this was likely to as well based on my trading style. And most altcoins are going to take a hit because of this or pull back the market itself. But, you know, all we can hope for is a higher low anywhere in this vicinity. Let's pull a Fibonacci and take a look here. Somewhere at the 618, 77.5 would be a great place to bounce. The 786 at 76,000 also. As long as we don't go lower than 74. Shout out to CoFund 007. Thank you, Sam, for everything. When pulling a fib and you're going up or down, if a fib hits one of your levels that continues, you pull from that next level. No. You keep the fib from the level you originally pulled at. Yeah. I think yeah. The market doesn't pop until the rates drop. Exactly. He's right too. He's spot on about that. Again, every time you move fast away from a 21, and everyone, they showed us a head and shoulder pattern on the 15-minute, on the 5, like right there. We identified it before it happened. And it's funny, it's just like yesterday. I'm getting deja vu, just like yesterday. The short there, or the day before, the short there, retest and dump. And look right here too. shoulder, head, right shoulder. I sold that long right here yesterday. 81,748. I sold that right about here. Yeah, I didn't get the whole move, but I got dang near most of it. And so that's how I say. What's your stream schedule? Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And then I do an update on the weekends in the mornings. Tonight we do a weekly screen share as well from about 8 to 9:30. I might make it 8 to 9 just because my back is pretty beat up. But we'll do it. And sitting or standing doesn't really matter. I just like, it hurts, man. And the less I use it, the better. But I'm still going to do my thing. Wow, nasty dump for Bitcoin. And you can see, I mean, now it lost this key level. My next level there is 78,135 for Bitcoin. And we knew it hasn't even touched the 21 yet. I understand why it always comes back, but it does. A fast move up, a fast move down as well. And there we have it. Shorting this was glorious. Exactly. Nice money to be made there on the short. I just been a little more bullishly biased for whatever reason, but beautiful short there to the downside. I mean, and again, to the 21-day moving average. If you learn my strategy, it told you that was likely going to happen. And then the 5-minute gave you the entry on the head and shoulder pattern. So, and then there's a gap in the VRVP. And there's your gap in the VRVP that gave you that smooth move of liquidity. Now, can we bounce is the question. Is it because of the fast move up, it doesn't build support? XCN is now up 91%, somebody says. And it was up 50% at the beginning of the stream. That thing is ripping. And we saw that it was likely going to break out that flag, right? And it did. It hit the target that we talked about. It went to 171, just like it was. Wow. And it looks like it may not stop here. This is insanity. It's either going to double top or just rip again. Unreal. Shout out to my XCN holders. Hey, Sam, hope you're good, brother. Joining in on the stream for the beautiful Alps in France. Recently, I've struggled in my own life, not with alcohol, but facing challenges. What would you say on mindset? Hit me. Amen. I missed the long yesterday looking for the next one. Golden Pocket looks like a nice area to long. I would just wait for the 200 to make cross to the 1. Could be a nice bounce here too, though. And we'll just reset everything for a moment here just to give us a breather. That fib could bounce you right there, see? 78.5, that's why, and again, psychological area of support and resistance. BOOKMAP's got a lot of liquidity below us here. 73.5, 72, 71, 70,000, all the way to 68,500. A big old chunk down there that they could really want to wreck us to. So there's a good amount. They got this guy up there at 81.6, but it, didn't do much for us today. And so you got to figure that BOOKMAP wants to crush those longs down there. All right. Sam, have you ever had a crazy run in with an alligator? No, I have not. I missed the long. I see them all the time, though. They're in the little pond behind my house here, but never a crazy run. No. So previous support of resistance, no way. You're looking for the bounce off the 618 here or the 786. That's kind of our next key level you're looking for. A bullish divvy there possibly. Makes a low, makes another low. You get a swing up on the RSI, right? And we bounce. We very well may. We're looking for that higher low now. Low, higher high, higher low. Boom. We can get on out of here after this double bouton that played out nicely. The double bottom. All right. Book wants what the S&P wants. BT glued to the S&P. They're really not glued to each other. They're glued to the money. They're just people who are just doing the same thing. You could say S&P is glued to Bitcoin. They actually uncorrelated somewhat recently too as well. All right. Why the coins I shorted pumps when Bitcoin dumping? Hey, Sam. If you are gator hunters, call me. Thank you, man. I'm all set, though. Waited on the 21 to touch for the 1 minute short. I don't need to do things to get myself hurt. You know what I mean? Like, my team won't allow it. They're like, Sam, what were you doing gator hunting? Like, thousands of people were waiting for you to live stream yesterday. And I'd be like, oh, I was just proving myself as a man while I got my hand chopped off and now I can't live stream. I'm not allowed. I signed I can't play basketball. I'm not allowed to go outside after 3 o'clock. No, I'm just. They keep me in a bubble in the basement. I'm only allowed to come out during the stream. They're like, Sam, you're too valuable. We can't see anything happen to you. So we got to keep you in a closet full of bubbles and bubble wrap. And so at the end of the stream, I go back into the closet. I get my little meal a day. They test my blood to make sure I'm not eating any bad foods all the time. So a massive dump for Bitcoin. The 4 hour comes back to the 21. It's like I always know it, but it still sometimes surprises me every time. I'm like, so you're telling me there's a chance? Bubble Boy without the pants, he said, yeah. I don't think he had pants either, remember, right? Looks like a life vest on the boat. You on the boat? Lock a life vest. Yeah, exactly. Gator cup in hand. You sound absolutely great. Protecting thy purse. In hindsight, this bull trap is jokes. Anything is possible. Hopium copium. I'm open-minded. What we could be seeing too, though, is like a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. The last time Bitcoin made one of these, let me show you. I remember it so clearly. It was like right here. It was like this shoulder. It was more on the daily time frame, but it was similar behavior. And I called it out as such. A lot of people didn't, but you know, I saw an inverted head and shoulder here. There was even one right there. You know, and then cup with the handle, see? And then secondary handle, smaller cup, but Cooper cup to the upside, bang, 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 right? But the cup and handle there, Sammy cup, Cooper cup, and the move to the upside. So there's, you know, that's a possibility brewing on this 4 hour. You make that right shoulder. I'm just, you know, I'm going over what could be possible. The bear scenario is, yeah, I mean, you're making this puppy. It's a bear flag. It's going to break down at least to where it began again. We're going to test it. And then if you lose that. So let's take a look at our key levels of support or resistance to watch for Bitcoin. As we realize the day is super bearish. The longs did not play out. And let's just see what we can kind of hope and dream for today. So I talked about the daily closing bullish today. And when we started, it didn't look bullish. And it continued to finish. Can we at least hold this level on the daily? So the double bottom area that we had there at 78.5. 78.5 is a key level. We keep coming back to it. We lose 78.5. We drop to 76.2. We lose 78.62. We come back to 73.2. And then we'll go from there. Because, like, you know, we lose that. There's a chance you do go to 69.4 or 69.5. We want 69 and we want it now. That'll be an official pain. All right. And honestly, like, this is kind of weird, but I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. But that's like an Adam and Eve double, you know. And that's how you could get to 64, 69, 65,000. That measured move, rounded top. You know, you may make a, like, you know, one of these, and now you got the inverted cup and handle. That's also got the measured move down to 69K too as well. So, like, it's not unheard of now. You got to be so open-minded that you can see the bearishness and the bullishness at the same time. be able to flip. We're back to 678,000. This is such bearishness. And so, again, on the channel, I gave a perfect short. I didn't take it, should have, but I did not take it. I was in my bias, and I got out the right way. The reverse button would have been nice yet again, right? Why are you not shorting this? Because I don't have to short every... Think about it. I go live every day of my life. I trade almost every day of my life. And it was my birthday yesterday. Some days my mind is spent. Some days I don't have it in me. We shorted huge on Sunday. I called it. We called it massive long yesterday. Like, I've done amazing. Like, I've done enough. If those two calls literally should get me through the rest of the month if I do nothing else. You know, if I gave you no other calls besides those two calls, these were epic, man. I nailed both the top and bottom of those big moves and showed you how to nail it. So I don't know what else I could do. So here's our level. Daily loses, we drop to 76.5. We lose 76.5. We drop to 73.3. 73.3 at 69. And 69 to 64,000. And it seems we now probably are now touching the 21, which would be your bounce. You see? Wouldn't be surprised if this just bounces right back up. This candle will close in 9 minutes, a very bearish candle for sure. So that's what happened today in the last, it's a 4-hour candle. It started halfway, 78 888s now. And you lost the 200 on the 1-hour dumpage. 15-minute dumpage. 15-minute now losing the 200. Another bearish sign for more dumpage possibly. And it looks like a Bart Simpson for sure. It was a Bart Simpson pattern. There's our Bart, man. We haven't seen a Bart in a while. There's a beautiful Bart Simpson for Bitcoin. And again, the shoulder, head, right shoulder started it off. The shoulder, head, right shoulder started it off there. I might keep dumping past resistance. I'm glad I screenshotted the levels. Trump pump and dumped us. Wow, looks like price is rushing to the 1-minute POC within the 4-hour diamond. Demand back at 77.8. Yeah. I mean, we just lost the 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame. That can be a short for more dumpage. Got through the gap now, too, though. Little gap there, And they are dumping this puppy to the downside. So every time you get a little excited for Bitcoin, it tells you to just, chill, chill, chill. Every time you can't pump that far from the 21. It's just not sustainable. You'll learn what I teach you over time is you'll learn. And you realize it's not me telling you my strategy. It's me telling you price action. I've learned price action. It's not everyone thinks it's a strategy because everyone else is, I'm teaching you price action. This was what happens over and over again and day in and day out. All right. Would have been better had I executed beautifully. I've been a little off the last couple days. My back getting thrown off, whatever. No excuses, but I've been in pain. My mind hasn't been 100%. So my trades haven't been I've been pretty dang good though. I still nailed yesterday in the Sunday dump. Just gave you stop losses that never got hit and take profits that nailed it. So I've been doing great. I want to hit every single day of my life. It's just unsustainable. Like I can't be 10 for 10. I wish I was though. Like I should have hit every long and every short perfectly every single time. I expect perfection from myself. I can't get upset when I don't do it though. At least I make it every day and I show up consistently. And that's what matters. It almost looks like something that happened yesterday. Yeah, they made deja vu. Yeah, Bart Simpson would have these like really big eyes, right? He just has the round nose. You have the shorts on, right? He's got the little socks with the shoes. And he'd be on a skateboard. There you go, all right? Fun on the live stream. What is the name of this pattern? That's what CryptoFace does that a lot, right? What is the name of this pattern? Fun times, right? So, and someone asked me to draw the bot Simpson, so we did. Back to 79,000. Could get a bounce on the 4-hour, you never know. Tough trading. We get back above the 1-hour 200 we make some type of, we could do something like this. Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, shoulders. This turns into a flag later tonight, and somehow we break out and pump. I'm open-minded, everyone. Or we go sideways and we dump down here. So we're going to kind of find out what's going to happen somewhere there if we can get the bounce. If not, we lose this and continue to dump. Make a shoulder ahead and a possible right shoulder there, you see? Like, so we could do one of these. This is a shoulder, that's a head, and that's a right shoulder, and dump more. I've seen that too. I'll keep my entire trading group privy to what I see happening, and if I see, you know, something moving, I'll call it out. But so far, all sorts of bearishness here for Bitcoin, and it doesn't look amazing. I wish it was going to be a better trading day, but it's been a tough week. We also have PPI data tomorrow. And we'll talk about our CPI, our core CPI at 1%, right? Actual. So, you know, core consumer price index month over month. You know, exactly. Could it be people spending, you know, less because they want to, but, and consumer price index month over month is at 0.1%, basically exactly as forecast. So basically nothing burger. And unemployment claims were exactly at forecast. The same amount of people filed for unemployment that we decided would file for unemployment. So, all right. Exactly. Building permits month over month is down, you know, which, no, 2.9. Oh, actual is 2.9. So there's more building permits. They thought it was going to be down, but their building permits are up. That's in Canada, so whatever, but man, no one cares. I'm just joking, guys. I love you Canadians. Core PPI month over month, PPI month over month, and premium consumer sentiment. But we're going to look at core PPI, right? Producer price index, which gives you a little more gauge of what's happening behind the scenes. And we'll see where that comes tomorrow. But that's going to rock the markets too tomorrow at 8:30 and could even have effect on sideways price action today. Back to 78.8. Bitcoin not loving price action. And now what I do is I flip on the 21 here. Take a look at it on the 1 hour. I mean, the 1 minute. And the 1 minute really would either supercharge or delay. And either you're going to dump down on a flag or you're going to get above support here. And it's the 1 minute. So in like 20 to 30 minutes, you should be above here and bouncing or here and dumping down. And it's going to tell you what's going to happen. So you can watch the 1 minute. Even just if you're, you know, as a beginner trader, it'll start to teach you what's happening. Leonardo the Prize, you're funny. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. God bless you, Stack. Lakochi Coker, Staz. Everybody in the house, thank you for being here. Shout out to Yamto Ango, Felix, The Rolling Road Show, John Blake, Alex, The Dusty Hunt, Martin Dupuis. Yeah. My short from 81 is pay well. Now 80.69, then we long. That would be awesome, crypto. Another trouble dump. The market depends on what Trump would say. It's crazy, though. But you can see it before it happens. You can see it before it happens. But it does look like we're going lower here for Bitcoin. Saddle up, partner. You can see the lows and the levels that we're looking at. I've gone over them many times. 76.240. First, we're going to drop to 78.1. Once we lose 78.5, then it's 76.2 and 73.3, and we go from there. I'm not saying we're going to dump for sure. It just doesn't look amazing today for Bitcoin. And we do have liquidity to the downside on BOOKMAP. Look at all that beautiful liquidity. A bunch of people still going long that can get liquidated. I don't know why. I wouldn't have, you know, I'm just scalping right now, in and out. I'm saving my capital, everybody. Buying a little bit of Bitcoin on the dips and saving my capital. That fear and greed, how could it drop? That doesn't make any sense. Like the market didn't really, you know, so they gave us back 39. It doesn't make sense. So this thing's off. It's not correct right now. It'll have to take a couple weeks to figure itself out. As always, David, thank you, Lifer fam. Have a great day, everyone. As always, Jamal, this is what I do as DCA in the Bitcoin these days. I cannot deal with the swings. Amen. Sam, I watch your show every day, and sometimes I repeat the show thought the day that wife says I should be added. Sam, I watch your show every day, and sometimes I repeat it. Wow. The show throughout the day, the show thought the day that, and my wife says I should be added to your trading portfolio. I don't know. I wish I could read what you were saying. It sounds cool though, Teddy Bear. You might want to rewrite it though. I can't figure it out. Sam, I watch your show every day, and sometimes I repeat the show thought the day that, and my wife says I should be added to your trading portfolio. No need to explain yourself to these pencil necks, Sammy. True lifers know that you know. Amen. Shout out to Young Grasshopper. God bless you, man. Thank you. Looks like the Bears cooked us some braised short ribs for lunch. I know. Not amazing, right? The moment I met you, Sammy, you gave me strength and discipline from all the gains and holding. Much appreciated to you and your family. And La Lifer 333. God bless you. I can't wait to see you in Dubai, my friend. I'm coming in 2 weeks. 17 days. I make my way to Dubai. So I'm there for 10 days. I'm so afraid of flying, but it's going to be great. I just have to have positive mindset the whole time. It's going to be fun. I'm going to watch 3 movies, fall asleep. 3 movies, 2 hours long is 6, and I'm going to fall asleep for 8. That's 14, and I'll be done with the plane. I'm going to make it. I'm going to be fine. I'm just going to get excited. I'll probably have Wi-Fi. I'll be able to chart. I'll be charting with you guys, having fun. He repeats your words as he's trading throughout the day. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Price action still beautiful for the Bears, right? It's good price action. Nothing wrong with it. I got to get my head out of the bulls, you know. Yeah, it's more bullish than bearish now. I mean, more bearish than bullish, and it really has been. Until we, you know, get back above like even 89K. Like that's even 96,000 to me is like a dirty level. Like we got to break those levels. I may trade long, swing this and that, but I'm just getting in and out, looking for opportunity. I'm not guaranteeing that the market's shifting in any way, shape, or form. I flew to Dubai, the dusty hot. Thank you. Yeah, I am flying business class, which I think is first, right? It's like somewhat. The entire market with a Trump like Elon and Doge back in the day. So long as the pilots aren't women, you'll be fine. Don't. Oh my gosh. Just give me 51,000 BTC so I can back the truck up. One tweet made people bullish. You can't get overly bullish. When you're too far from the 21-day moving average, you got to take profits. We just use the information and the volatility to make gains. That's all. One step, one plan, one moment at a time. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to everybody here that's still kicking it with the Lifer. Thank you so much for being here. And may God bless you. We have a full house here. 2,000 beautiful souls here on the live. When we get the likes up to the watchers, I would greatly appreciate it. $138 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. And we're on our way further to 95,000 subscribers. You people are awesome. Like, it's unbelievable. And I just got to talk about it for a second here. 94,200 we just hit, which is a big deal for me. It's a huge deal. I'm so grateful. Dear Lord, thank you for all the beautiful people that have done and supported me and hit that like button. Very, very nice. So as the show ends today, I just want to say thank you yet again. 264,000 subscribers and counting. And everyone, I mean, when you started a channel lifetime and for a year, you're sitting at 34. Look, I started September. My first month of doing videos, I had 1 subscriber. After a month, then 4 or 5. After 2 months, 20 people had subscribed. After 3 months, 38. I was super excited to get my first 50 people 6 months in to YouTube. By April, 8 months, 9 months, you know, and here we are about a year later with 170 subscribers. Exactly a year into it, I had 169 subscribers. 1 year straight. And then a year later from that year, we somehow... So from September 2000, boom, and then the next year, we really would solidify ourselves in the market. And that would be the biggest year of my life. You can see how things would change. And we get to 12,000. In 1 year, we would just really... And then things just continued to balloon here. Starting to round off a little bit, but we're pushing through. And we're on our way to 95,000 subscribers, and I can feel it happening. The 100,000 subscriber plaque. Every single one of you that helps me get here, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for hitting the like button, commenting, and subscribing on the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And I'm not stopping until I get there. I got a goal, and once I achieve that goal, we're going to start a new goal. 250,000 subs and start a whole new way of doing it. But we're on our way. 100,000 subscribers every single day until we get there. That's it. I'm not breaking for it. I'm not changing for it. There's nothing I'm going to do differently. And I'm just looking for opportunity every single day. And I believe there's opportunity coming for this channel and for my life. I'm going to meet someone that's got a bigger channel. They're going to feature me. Bigger things are, I know big things are going to happen. I'm going to meet bigger YouTubers. They're going to like my style. They're going to feature me. It's going to help me get more, more notoriety. It's going to continue to grow. Just like I helped people along my way, people are going to help me along my way. And God helps those who help themselves. I'm going to continue to pump. And if no one helps me, so be it. I'll continue to have fun doing what I do. You see what I'm saying? I don't need anybody. If they help me, so be it. But I envision something big happening to me soon, especially when I go to Dubai. And I just have this feeling of something big happening. And I'm excited and I can't wait. So, big opportunity coming my way. And I got to take it as such. And I don't like leaving my home. I don't like getting on a plane for hours. I know it sounds great and all, but at the other time, I'm almost like, I got to get over all that and just tell myself, opportunity is abound, Sam. You got to travel the world, see the world, meet people, and be a part of something bigger than yourself. So, Bitcoin's got a little bit of bullish divvy here now. My indicator got it strong. It's here. It may get a bounce. We got to get back above a resistance now at 79,200 for BTC. Not the worst. As I told you, could have just put in a higher low here on that 4-hour time frame. And the 4-hour candle now has closed. There could be a chance to long right here. Could very well be a tweezer bottom that gives us a beautiful bounce right back to the upside the way this market's been. I wouldn't oversold on that 1 hour back to the 21. Just like you pumped away from the 21, now you got to dump back to the 21 again. It goes both ways, so I wouldn't be surprised if now we pump back up to the 21-day moving average. So you're either getting one of these, back to the 21 for dumpage, or you're going back all the way back up. But it looks like some type of retracement is on the cards here, because that 21 is just too far away. How would you figure this out? You watch the 1 hour, the 1 minute, it would break the 200 MA. The 5 minute will do the same. They're a little too far, so you need your one, maybe the 30-second even. Could make this gap up, right? You got to get above resistance at 79.5 to remain bullish. That's if you want to zoom into the small time frames and play that game for confirmation. Okay. Just giving you different ways to look at the charts on your way throughout your day. Crypto trader influencer market getting saturated. Yeah, there's a lot, but you know what? I've been trading for 20 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't care how saturated it gets. There's always going to be a new guy saying something. I got my core group of people. We're rock solid. We're one of the biggest streams in the game. And we continue to show why. Yeah. Powell speaks in less than 2 hours. Yep, 100K coming, Sam. You matter, man. Keep it up. Don't stop being around no matter what. Lifer. Mindset is a thing, and we love it. Much love from Bulgaria. Popcorn, yellow stripe, smile. God bless you. Thank you. That was my point, but I'm loading right here. Interesting. So crucial times for Bitcoin. I'll give updates throughout the day in the trading group. I will not leave you hanging. Tonight, we have a weekly screen share. We'll also get together and get that done as well. Happy belated birthday, Sammy. Praying for peace and blessings in this year and beyond. Margaret, I love you. You didn't have to give, but you did. God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful birthday whenever it is. And may God bless you. Thank you so much for giving $10. Shout out to everybody that gave today in the fan funding. We had Suman Cindy. What do you think about LDO? We'll take a look at that. Happy birthday, Sammy. Thank you, Sam. When pulling a fib, we went over that. Co-fund. Drew C. Can you walk through indicators for us real quick? Briefly explain them. Good morning. Great day. It's my B-Day. Sent an email yesterday. Please keep an eye out for it. I saw it. Thank you. Poke it out. We talked about it. Ishra, thank you so much. Love from India. David Lit Show. Sammy, you provided clarity in turmoil. Thank you. Matt Vienna. Kid Crushing Fish. Fast Easy Cash. Ali G. And everyone that gave today. Thank you so much. Quick indicators that I use. The first indicator that I use is go up here and type in CBC 5MA DRS. It's 5 moving averages. The 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. The second data indicator that I use is the MACD. MACD. Moving average convergence divergence. I don't do anything. I don't tweak it. The next indicator that I use is the RSI. Relative Strength Index. And then the last one on the bottom there is type in RSI again, but it's the stochastics. Sorry. It's the stochastics RSI with divergences by neobutane. And then last but not least, the VRVP, which I talked about twice today on the live as well. The Visible Range Volume Profile. With these 5 indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm able to see the market's pretty good. But on top of that, I'm using support and resistance, trend analysis, and patterns to find my way. For instance, here, like I'm starting to see a bit of a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder that could break us to the upside here for Bitcoin. Possible bottom there on that 4-hour time frame that could move us further to the upside for BTC. You know, a possible bottom right there for BTC. Again, it's Thursday, low volume. You do not have to overtrade. Never feel like you have to trade. You do not. Okay? One step at a time, one day at a time, one candle at a time. You'll get the gist of this, but it'll take you some time. It took me a long time to get the gist of trading, to be comfortable with my trades, to do the right thing. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like I flipped a switch and everything was just went my way. That's just not how it works. It takes time, a lot of time. Anyway, I love you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Look for this inverted to break back above. We've got a key resistance at 79.5. You've got to break back above to remain bullish. And the daily didn't look good. Looks like the daily is going to close pretty bearish unless something changes. So I'll pull back after a huge pump. Just look for the higher low. Keep it simple on that trend. This definitely could be a bear flag that wants to dump to the downside. If anything, you got to consider more dumpage. Unless we get back above 79.5. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to trade where I trade, hit the comment. You know, there's a comment section here at the top of all my videos. And we have, you know, a link to Weeks, to Bitinex, and MEXC. If you want to trade and get the, you know, the updates and all the stuff that I'm doing. Last night's update this morning when I'm in and out of a trade and all that fun stuff. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Look what I'm seeing right here out of the corner of my eye. I mean, that looks like a head and shoulder, a head, a right shoulder for dumpage to the downside. Bitcoin just to me is looking dumpage. Someone asked about LDO, an oldie but goodie. Haven't traded this thing in a long time. Lido down. And it's going to move with Ethereum, really. If Ethereum's down, this thing's down. What do I think about this coin? It was a great project. It works if DeFi comes back. But right now, DeFi is not even being spoken about. And there's a head and shoulder on it right there. I mean, that just like... You know, that maybe that doesn't defy that, but that looks like that's going to dump pretty nice. Make some new low. That would make it a negative price action, though. So I guess it can't do that. But maybe it revisits this low, or I was like, all right, it can't get any lower. It's like double bottoming. I don't know. I don't chase the bottom unless it's something I really like, and I'm not a fan of this like that. So I'd be careful on LDO. Shout out to everybody on the live. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.